North Carolina just added nearly 100,000 new residents in a single year. And if you look at the list of cities driving that growth, it reads less like a statewide snapshot and more like a synopsis of the Triangle region. And what I mean by that is that out of the top 10 fastest growing municipalities in the entire state, 6 of them are right here in the Triangle, more than half. So today we're getting a little nerdy with the official US Census Bureau data and breaking down exactly what the numbers say, which Triangle cities are leading the charge, and then most importantly, why people are choosing these places. But before we get into it, my name is Matt Martin, and not only am I a Raleigh-based realtor, but I'm also a transplant to the Triangle region, originally from LA and New York City. I've helped tons of clients just like you do exactly what we did back in 2021 and relocate to the Triangle region of North Carolina. So if you're looking to do the same, I'd love to help you too. And of course, if you'd like to see more content like this, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe right down below. All right, let's start with the macro view. The US Census Bureau just released its 2025 population estimates, which gives us a city-by-city breakdown of how North Carolina grew between July of 2024 and July of 2025. And while the state as a whole grew by roughly 95,000 people, in that 1 year window, growth across the state was anything but even. Some cities lost population, some were basically flat, and then there's a cluster concentrated right here in the Triangle that contributed more than 35,000 new residents. So more than a third of the entire state's growth. So let's start at the top with Wendell, which is the single fastest growing municipality in the entire state and the fastest growing city overall since 2020. Get this, in just 1 year, Wendell grew a whopping 17.3%. And if you zoom out to 2020, Wendell's population has basically doubled in 5 years, from just under 10,000 to nearly 20,000 today, which is crazy growth. So what's driving it? 2 words, Wendell Falls. And if you haven't heard of it, you can check out my whole video right here. But it's a 1,400 acre master plan community that's been the engine behind Wendell's growth. The community is designed to have around 35 total homes when it's fully built out. And after over 10 years of construction, it's finally almost complete. And what makes Wendell Falls really special is that it's not just a neighborhood. It's a full-on community with its own town centers, restaurants, miles of trails, medical facilities, a Publix, and so much more. So really, once you move here, you really don't have to leave. Then location-wise, Wendell Falls sits right off Highway 87, just minutes from I-540, which is the outer Beltline, and puts you around 15 minutes east of downtown Raleigh. And then price-wise, the current median sale price in Wendell as of April of 2026 is right around $418,000. So for everything you're getting here, the master planned amenities of Wendell Falls, the highway access, the new construction options, the low price, it's no mystery why people keep moving here. Then just east of Wendell is Zebulon, which came in second statewide with a 13.9% growth rate. Zebulon added nearly 1,500 people in the past year, which may not sound like much, but for a town that had under 7,000 residents in 2020, that's pretty significant. And today, Zebulon comes in just under 12,000 residents, which is an increase of nearly 70% since 2020. So yes, it's been growing a lot. Zebulon is on the easternmost edge of Wake County, about 25 to 30 minutes from downtown Raleigh, right off of I-87. It's a small town, but it's got great parks, a charming downtown, and its own bourbon distillery. And then there's the price point. The current median sale price in Zebulon is around $378,000, which makes it one of the most affordable markets in Wake County. When you look at what you get for the price, new construction, larger lots, easy highway access east of Raleigh, you can definitely see why buyers are making the drive east. And Zebulon and Wendell together are essentially redefining what the eastern Wake County market looks like. Then third statewide is Angier. So that's 1, 2, 3 all in the triangle. And Angier had 13.2% growth and a population now approaching 9,500. So essentially Zebulon just a couple years ago. Now, some people may argue that Angier isn't actually part of the triangle as it's in Harnett County, which is just south of Wake County and about 21 miles south of downtown Raleigh off US 401. But it's absolutely in the triangle's gravitational pull, so to speak, especially as people start to expand outside the traditional radius for more value. And Angier's growth story is really about two things: affordability and timing. On the affordability front, Angier consistently prices below what you'd find in Wake County, coming in with a median sales price of just under $360,000 as of April 2026. And that's not for some old rundown home. In fact, roughly 60% of home sales in Angier are new construction. The town itself, which bills itself as the town of crepe myrtles, is tiny, but it has a lot of charm, and it hosts an annual crepe myrtle festival that draws around 20,000 visitors. On the timing piece, the latest extension of I-540, that outer beltline that opened at the end of 2024, dramatically cut drive times to RTP, RDU, and Durham for Angier residents. And that infrastructure improvement is a genuine game changer for this corridor, and it's a big part of why the growth here isn't slowing down anytime soon. All right, at number 5 statewide is Rolesville with 8.5% growth and a population now approaching 13,000. Rolesville's in northern Wake County, about 15 miles north of Raleigh off US 401. And it quietly keeps compounding. Since 2020, the population is up over 32%. The median sales price in Rolesville is right around $509,000, which, yes, is higher than Wendell or Zebulon, but it's not the full story. You see, Rolesville actually has a lower median price per square foot than both of those cities, which means homes in Rolesville are just larger on average. I'm talking over 2,600 square feet versus homes closer to 21 or 2,200 square feet in Wendell and Zebulon. And a whopping 63% of home sales in Rolesville in March and April of 2026 were new construction. So you're not only getting more home, you're getting more brand new home for that lower price per square foot. And that's the appeal of Rolesville. You're also getting easy access to both Raleigh and Wake Forest since it's essentially situated right between the two. And there's a bunch of new development happening in downtown Rolesville, especially with the new cobblestone village. So if you find yourself in downtown Rolesville, do yourself a favor and grab an incredible grilled cheese sandwich and beer at Artisan Beer and Cheese. And then I'd love to tell you how the bagels at Jeff's Bagel Run are, but literally the line was out the door when I was there last, so I didn't have time to try them. All right, moving on to number 9 statewide, we have Knightdale with 6.1% growth and a population now over 23,000. Knightdale is the most established of the eastern Wake County towns, more built out retail, restaurants, and infrastructure than some of the newer boom towns further out. And yet it's still posting over 6% annual growth. And that's because you get a mix of two things here: great accessibility to Raleigh and affordable home prices. Knightdale is just east of Raleigh, and like Wendell, it provides incredibly convenient access to downtown in just about 15 minutes. Plus, it's bordered by I-540, that outer belt line, for easy access to RTP and RDU in about 30 minutes. And the final leg of I-540 is actually under construction right now, which will finally close the entire beltline and connect Knightdale to its neighbors to the south. Then the median sale price is right around $390,000, which makes Knightdale one of the most affordable cities in the triangle. Add to that some great parks and new neighborhoods, and it's a great option if you're looking to be close to the action, but in a slightly quieter setting. It may not have all the character that you'll find in the cute downtowns of Wendell or Zebulon, but there are tons of new subdivisions popping up that are starting to define the city more. And then the final triangle city in the top 10 fastest growing list is Apex, which also had 6.1% growth, but at a completely different scale. Apex is the largest city on this list with just over 80,000 residents after adding nearly 4,700 people in a single year. So it's already a pretty good sized city and it's continuing to explode. Apex is on the southwestern side of the triangle, just south of Cary and about 20 minutes from downtown Raleigh, RTP, and RDU. Its historic downtown along Salem Street is really charming with restaurants and boutique shops, and the town overall has a polished, well-planned feel with a wide range of housing options. But it does come at a cost, which makes its growth even more impressive. See, the median sale price here is right around $704,000, and that's because there's huge demand for the southwestern triangle with its close proximity to RTP, and also because of the overflow from neighboring Cary, where the median home prices have pushed a lot of potential buyers out. But Apex isn't done growing. In fact, developer RXR recently designated it a superstar region, and they just broke ground on Viridia, which is a $3 billion, 1,000+ acre mixed-use development that will bring new housing, commercial space, greenways, and amenities, and even a college campus. And you can find out all about it in my video right here. So I definitely expect Apex to keep popping up on these fastest growing city lists for years to come. So why is the triangle dominating the state's overall growth? Well, there's a few reasons, but by far the biggest is our top tier schools and strong economy. You've heard me say it 100 times before, but we have 3 tier 1 research universities here: Duke, UNC Chapel Hill, and NC State, and an annual graduation class across all our colleges and universities of around 60,000 people. Plus, we have the 4th highest concentration of PhDs in the entire country, and all that feeds our job market, which is anchored by the Research Triangle Park. Now, this is one of the largest research and development parks in the world, and the surrounding region has built a genuine hub for tech and life sciences with major companies like Apple, Google, Lenovo, Novo Nordisk, Amgen, Fujifilm. The list of major employers here just keeps getting longer and more impressive. And those companies bring high-paying jobs, and those high-paying jobs attract people, and those people need somewhere to live. But unlike other major cities where high-paying tech and life science jobs have driven home prices into an unreachable stratosphere, things here are still relatively affordable. Yes, prices have risen over the past 5 years, but compared to what you're paying per square foot in San Francisco, New York, Boston, Seattle, or even Austin, the triangle still makes a lot of sense. You're getting way more bang for your buck, plus a huge list of pluses that would take up a whole other video. Oh wait, I think I've made that one before, and you can find it in the description below. So there you have it. North Carolina is growing fast, and the triangle is leading the way by a lot. 6 of the top 10 fastest growing cities in the entire state are right here in this region. So the data is telling a very clear story. People are choosing the triangle. And if you're one of those people, or you're trying to figure out if you should be, I'd love to help you sort through all of this and find the spot that makes the most sense for your budget and your lifestyle. You can reach me by phone, email, or text, and you can find all my contact information in the link below, or by scanning this QR code right here with your phone. And if you liked this video, I've got a whole catalog of others all about moving to, living in, and buying real estate in and around Raleigh, North Carolina. Here's another one here that you may like, so give it a click to keep on watching.